Hello everyone! Today we're going to find answers to some of the most Googled questions about milk teeth from our pediatric dentist Dr. Shravanti Sisla. Hello. So let's start our session for today.
Yes.
So our first question is, are fluoride toothpastes important for infants?
Yes, most definitely fluoride toothpastes are important for infants, but you should make sure that the quantity of fluoride that you're using is recommended by the dentist. The advantage of fluoride in the toothpaste is it strengthens the enamel layer, that is the outermost protective layer of the tooth, and prevents decays from forming.
What is the recommended amount of fluoride for children?
So the guidelines that we normally follow are from American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry, where they usually advise that for infants up to the age of 1 year, there is a smear layer only of quantity of fluoride. Up to the age of 3, you can use a rice grain size of fluoride toothpaste, and above 3 years of age, you can use a pea size of fluoride toothpaste. Yes.
Thank you. So moving on to the next question. Is electric toothbrush better than a manual toothbrush?
This is the most commonly asked question by parents and by kids themselves. So both of them are beneficial if they're used properly. The advantages of electric toothbrush is it's more fun, it's more engaging to the child. Disadvantages could be that it is expensive compared to the manual brush, and also because the vibrations of it, they may cause certain discomfort to the child, so the child may not be comfortable using an electric toothbrush immediately. In terms of the manual toothbrush, it is less costly in comparison to the electric. But if it is used in the right technique, manual toothbrush is equally good as the electric toothbrush. The technique has to be taught by the dentist. So make sure you ask your dentist to demonstrate how the brushing technique needs to be followed. Based on that, you can use either the electric or the manual toothbrush.
Which one would you personally recommend?
I usually recommend the manual toothbrush. I know there will be some debate about this, but I usually recommend manual toothbrushes because when the child comes to me for the first time, I always give them oral hygiene instructions, and I always demonstrate the technique of using the manual toothbrush. Now, we also deal with children that are differently abled or, have other issues with understanding. Such patients, for them, I would prescribe the electric toothbrush. So otherwise, manual toothbrush is more than enough with the right technique.
It's time for the third question. Why are my 6-month-old baby's teeth brown in color?
Right, so that's a good question. What happens is, this is a common misconception that we see with parents, that they think that the child is born with brown teeth. That is actually not true. Yes, fluoride in the water and all of those things do have an impact on the color of the tooth and the shape and size of the tooth. But most commonly what I've seen in my practice is the patients and the parents are not cleaning the gum pads properly. So before the tooth erupts, there are gum pads in the oral cavity. So after every feed, after every anything that the child eats, the gum pads, the tongue, below the tongue region needs to be cleaned properly. Otherwise, what happens is bacteria tend to accumulate in those areas. So as soon as the tooth is starting to come into the cavity, the bacteria attack the tooth, and then the tooth starts to get decayed. So that brown color that they see is usually a cavitated tooth or a decayed tooth. So you need to ask your pediatric dentist how to clean the gum pads and maintain the oral hygiene.
So once these brown stains, cavities, as you said, have happened already, how do you treat?
So we have preventive techniques that we use, and we also have slightly more invasive techniques that we use. All of this depends on the extent to which the brown stain is there. If there is just a minimal layer of brown staining, preventive techniques like fluoride application can be used to provide a protection to the tooth so that the brown spots or stains don't expand or move ahead. Otherwise, if the tooth is already cavitated, meaning already a cavity is formed, then we can do either a filling or we can do a root canal, which is called as pulp therapy in a milk tooth, and save the tooth.
So, moving to this next question. My child is only 3 years old and already has holes or cavities. What are these? How do we treat them? Or is it necessary to treat them?
So as I mentioned in the previous question as well, once the cavity is formed, yes, treatment is required. So usually the common condition that we see is called as severe early childhood caries or early childhood caries. Now the term severe comes when there are multiple cavities in the child's mouth. Now, this treatment, it can be either in terms of preventive, like I mentioned with fluoride therapy, or it can be a little more invasive. Once the cavity is formed, it can be treated either with a small filling, or it can go for a root canal or a pulp therapy. Yes. Now, again, this is seen most commonly because of two reasons. That is either because of improper brushing technique or improper diet. There are various other reasons like genetics, etc., that are also causing impact of the oral cavity and the teeth and the decays. But these are the two main reasons that I have noticed in my practice. So I would usually educate the parents to maintain proper oral hygiene techniques and also proper diet and what needs to be taken care of after the diet is done of the child.
Moving on to question number 5. Is extraction of milk teeth necessary, and will the child be able to bear the pain?
Well, that's a very good question. So usually we as pediatric dentists always practice preventive dentistry. That means we try to prevent any decays from forming in the teeth. And also once the decay is formed, we try to treat it in a way that we can retain, that is keep the milk tooth in its position itself. But as a last resort, if all other treatments fail, then yes, extraction needs to be done for a tooth which is badly broken down or any other reason. But one thing you have to remember in this is, if the tooth is being removed before the time of it falling down naturally, then we need to maintain that space so that the permanent tooth that is coming from underneath comes directly in that space. Also, one more thing is, parents usually ask, it's just a milk tooth, let it be decayed and let it stay in the cavity until it falls off naturally. We don't want to go for extractions because child may not be able to bear it. That's when we come into the picture. We make sure that the extraction is as painless as possible. Although little bit of discomfort may be there, but then we cannot leave an infected tooth in the oral cavity because that will have damage or detrimental issues to the upcoming permanent teeth. So yes, if extraction is indicated, it has to be done, and space maintainers, that is those clips that are used, need to be decided by your pediatric dentist.
So last question for today is there a way to avoid braces?
Well, yes, there is a way to avoid braces so long as you bring your child to the dentist once every 6 months regularly. The benefit of bringing the child to the dentist regularly is we can take a look at the developing oral cavity, at the developing bones and everything, and decide or anticipate what can happen possibly in the future, and then plan any treatments necessary before that.
So can these teeth irregularities be treated by any other forms?
Yes, definitely. Once these checkups are done every 6 months, there are something called as preventive orthodontics, wherein we use preventive measures to avoid any such anticipations of malocclusions in the future. Or we can also use something called as interceptive orthodontics, wherein we intercept a developing problem already. Say suppose you missed the 6-month regular checkup, but there is already a dental issue starting in terms of irregularities or in terms of spaces developing, then we can intercept that malocclusion in the beginning stages itself so that we can try and avoid braces in the future. But for some cases, braces are inevitable.
Thank you so much for such an informative session.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I hope this has answered most of your questions, and if you have any more questions for us, please leave them in the comment box.